B2K went on Drink Champs and said that Omarion was the downfall of their group.
I know about you, such and such. I'm like, you a bitch ass nigga, bruh.
Also, Omarion told his side of the story in his own exclusive documentary, and I'm gonna break all that down in this video. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. 3 of the members from B2K, J-Boog, Razby, and Fizz went on Drink Champs to tell their side of the story and air out their frustrations with their former group member, Omarion. Apparently, they were upset about some of the comments that Omarion made during his versus battle with Mario. In fact, prior to the versus battle, Omarion took a slight dig at them in the Shade Room's comment section. Someone asked Omarion, "Are you doing only your song, which are great, or is B2K showing up?" And Omarion said, "I am B2K." Also, Omarion took credit for basically singing all of B2K's music.
Deep waters, come on, swim with me.
We knew once he reached into the B2K bag, he was nervous.
Well, it's all my vocals. It's all me. So
no, that's
it's
actually,
my bad.
Wait,
it's my bad.
No, wait.
Thank you, sir.
Hold. Oh.
Listen,
now
bro.
You know that's Lil Steve vocals.
Listen.
Stop playing. Shout out to Lil Steve. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
You don't come out that hot ass jacket, nigga, or what? Let's see that gut, nigga. Let's see that gut. You been drinking? You been drinking. You been drinking.
Child, this versus battle still cracks me up to this day. But anyway, B2K was triggered when Omarion said he sung all of the songs. Now, Omarion did sing lead on majority of the songs, but he didn't sing everything. B2K was offended when he said that, and they threw shade at him by comparing him to David Ruffin from The Temptations. Now, if you know the Temptations story, you know that David Ruffin was a huge diva. So they were comparing him to David, and Omarion clapped back and called them his background dancers and said that they were hating and they needed to get a job. Also, Omarion told his side of the story on his documentary, The Gift and the Curse, and I will talk a little bit about that in this video because his side of the story is actually pretty important and it kind of makes you understand why he doesn't mess with his group members. Now, B2K told their side of the story as well on Drink Champs, and I was pretty familiar with B2K's story because I did a whole 2-part documentary on them. But I learned some new things in this Drink Champs interview, and I kind of want to get into it. Now, in the early 2000s, B2K was on top of their game. They were the biggest black boy band to come out in the early 2000s, but their fame was pretty short-lived because after only being out for 4 years, they broke up. They broke up in 2004. And the reason why they broke up is actually because of management. Now, B2K noticed that they were working hard and not getting any money. They did the Scream tour and made nothing from that. And they were really disgruntled to find out that their manager, Chris Stokes, was driving expensive cars and spending all of their money. And so they secretly plotted to remove Chris Stokes as their manager after they finished up their tour and their obligations. However, that plan backfired because Omarion told on them. Now, we didn't know the reason why Omarion snitched, but later on we found out that he snitched because he allegedly was upset that Fizz was messing with a girl that he liked.
And we talking about the tour. We just talking about everything that happened. Now, mind you, we all got a plan to leave. We together, we brothers, you feel me? Like, yeah, we about to go get this bag now. So we like, yeah, what was happening? I was like, man, I was smashing old girl the whole tour. I really liked her, bro. And I'm like, bro, that's not your girl. Like, what's up? You cool? Yeah, man. He go to the bathroom, come back like, all right. I'm talking about, grab his stomach. This was a random chick, bro.
This is a random.
This is a random that was on the road with us. You feel me?
One of the dancers?
Somebody on the road with us.
They playing cool. Wasn't with the Russian in the ballroom.
So when we got back, And we had this meeting in a dirt field. Get out the car, and they like, management and O standing right there in like a half circle. And they like, you wanna start? And then management like, this shit is over. B2K's a rap. That nigga right there, he's solo. All y'all need to do is come film, record the rest of these songs for the You Got Served soundtrack and do the videos, and that's it. We don't need nothing else from y'all. They go in to say, we know about y'all wanting to leave. We know about y'all wanting to get out of y'all deal and do your own thing. I know about you, such and such. I'm like, you nigga, bro.
Who's saying that? That's
management saying the shit. So he done went back and told them everything we discussed about leaving them. So after You Got Served, we did all the video and everything. It was nothing else there. They basically shelved us. We couldn't do nothing. It was nothing we could do. Contractually.
My thing is, because it sounds like, I'm just saying as an outsider looking at, like he blamed you for like fucking a random chick that he had, right?
Oh,
so, but why would he take it out on these two? I can see him being mad at you.
I saw the devil in the details when we was having conversations about leaving management, and the nigga kept saying, he kept saying, solo artists make more money. Solo artists make more money.
He had the Bobby Brown.
I wouldn't take anything back of what we did, other than the conversation we had in confidentiality about leaving management.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would take back, because other than that, y'all might still have B2K as a 4 here today.
So that's the story. That's why B2K broke up. And Nori made a very interesting comment that I actually agree with. I think one of the reasons why there was some internal strife within B2K is because of the competition between Omarion and Lil Fizz. Fizz said that he was never competing with Omarion. He was never jealous of him. That's what he says, but it is a little weird when he's messing with the girls that Omarion likes and the girls that he dated. It just seems like there is some competition and even some jealousy there. And there may have been some competitiveness and jealousy on Omarion's side as well, because Omarion, I think, was competing for a lot of the attention that Fizz and J Boog were getting. Because in B2K, Fizz and J Boog were the fan favorites. Even though Omarion was the lead singer and he was at the forefront and doing a lot of the work, he still had to compete with the others to get some of the same attention. And once some of the others started singing leads, it created even more competition.
Really, this is what really fucked up. Oh, we all were famous, but I'll just keep it 100. Like, me and him battled back and forth with, like, who was a fan favorite, because we had a lot of different ways to be famous. But I was famous as a motherfucker. Them ladies loved me. The ladies love J Boog. I'm sorry, bro. Give it up. I just knew because I did numbers. I was at my meet and greets, nigga. I saw how many teddy bears I left with opposed to you.
On our second album, the label found a way to sell more albums. So what they did was, not only did we have a group cover on the album, we each had a solo cover on the album.
Oh, shit.
And during the first week, they did the numbers to see whose album was selling the most.
Pandemonium?
Yes. Yeah.
So
we don't have to get into the numbers.
Yeah, get into it.
I mean,
that was the point of view.
1, 2,
and then 4?
Yeah.
That's how the shit was.
If you really want to be honest, yes.
He would always want to be more famous than all three of us, you know what I'm saying, because he sung the record, you know what I'm saying? He was the one in the front. You're starting to lose the grip on the one thing that you really held, because you didn't hold all the other things that you really wanted. So, you get what I'm saying? When you start looking at it like, I'm losing the game that I want to play, the only thing for a nigga to do is break off.
So I do think it's possible that Omarion probably didn't like the idea of sharing a lot of the fame and the attention, because you got to think about it. These were young guys. They were teenagers. And at that age, you tend to get a lot of validation from other people. And Omarion was seeing how much work he was putting in, but even with all the work he was putting in, he was looking at the fans' reactions to the other guys, and that may have affected his self-esteem and his ego in a sense, because he was working harder to get the same love. And on top of that, he had a group member who was attracting the girls he liked and going after the girls he liked. So I know he felt a way about that, and He thought to himself that going solo would be better. He would definitely make more money. He would get more attention. So it just made sense to him to become a solo act. But him going solo broke up B2K, and it's one of the reasons why they have issues to this day. And B2K tried to come back and reunite. In fact, Raz B played a huge role in why they did the Millennium Tour, because he's been trying to get the group back together for years. So they came back together, but there was a lot of issues on tour. And Omarion actually has a documentary on his site called The Gift and the Curse, and he kind of goes into detail about some of the things that went down behind the scenes. And after watching this documentary, I totally understand why Omarion keeps a distance from the group. For one, he has an issue with the fact that J Boog still is affiliated with Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston. Omarion does not mess with Chris Stokes or Marcus at all. And I think it has more to do with business reasons. Even Omarion's brother Orion doesn't like Chris Stokes because he claims that Chris Stokes sabotaged his career. So they don't like Chris Stokes or Marcus Houston. And I don't blame Omarion for not fooling with them, because Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston allegedly were violating younger boys. Raz B himself has came forth and said Chris Stokes violated him when he was a minor. And the late singer Quentin Tarver brought attention to these allegations as well. And I did a whole video about this. If you want to find out the details, you can watch the video. But Omarion does not fool with Chris Stokes or Marcus Houston. And he doesn't like the fact that J Boog is still affiliated with them. And it says a lot that J Boog still chooses to do business with them. I don't know. I'm giving him the side eye for that. Also, Omarion is really hesitant to really do business with Raz B as well, because even though Raz B loves B2K and wants B2K to be together, Raz can be pretty unpredictable and pretty erratic, and that's really due to the trauma he faced as a child. And in Omarion's documentary, you saw Raz B have a few breakdowns during the Millennium Tour because Raz felt like Chris Stokes was around. He didn't feel safe. So the whole situation was triggering him a lot.
Actually, let me correct myself. Raz B is officially off the tour. I don't feel safe because I feel like Chris Stokes is around. So guess what? I'm off the tour. Good luck to everybody. No disrespect to Mari because he's my brother. Amari, if you come talk to me, you want me to do this tour, I'll do this tour, but I'm officially off the tour.
Now, the messed up thing about this is J Boog was actually mocking Raz B, and Omarion pointed this out in his documentary.
We find out that what triggered him, what agitated him, was that Boog wore a t-shirt that said, "I don't feel safe."
I wasn't really picking up that Boog was fucking with his head like that. Why the would you wear the shirt? You know what I'm saying? Why would you do that?
So Omarion saw firsthand how Raz B was affected on that tour, and he saw that Raz was unpredictable and he was kind of going through an emotional roller coaster. And he tried to be there for him and console him and encourage him throughout the tour, but it was a lot. I could tell that Omarion was drained at some points. Also, another reason why I think Omarion doesn't want to associate with B2K is because of Fizz. Fizz messed around with his baby mama, April Jones, and that created a lot of tension between the two of them. And Fizz knew that he was wrong for doing that.
On that next season, when I was trying to put the group back together and dude kept avoiding me, it brought out old feelings like, damn, bro, you doing this again? Like, so I had a conversation with April on that season, and they were not together at that point. And she like, man, you know how dude is, like, through all the conversation, we just became we had a lot of shit in common because of dude. You feel me?
Hurt people.
Exactly. Look, neither here nor there, nor for real. Because I know, like, we saying this shit, but like, the shit with April, like, I made a lot of mistakes that I'm not happy with, and that's one of them. You feel me? So, like, I made amends with it. I apologized publicly. I knew I was wrong. I gotta live with that shit. I gotta hold that L. You feel me?
So when you look at the big picture here, you could see why Omarion doesn't really mess with B2K like that. For one, Fizz was messing with his baby mama, so he can't be trusted. Also, J Boog still is affiliated with people that he doesn't like at all, so he can't be trusted. And on top of that, Raz B is very unpredictable, so he in a sense can be a liability. So I don't think Omarion wants to go into business or wants to reunite with B2K like that. He only uses B2K when it's convenient and when it's to his benefit, because he's ultimately thinking about himself and his solo career. And I will admit, it is a little selfish, and I could understand why the guys are frustrated with him in that aspect, because they want to make money. They know that together they can make a lot of money. And Omarion knows that too, but Omarion doesn't like them like that. So he will use them temporarily, but then he will toss them when he's done. And that's what he did with the Millennium Tour thing. He had a separate contract from the other guys that said that if the first Millennium Tour did well, he would be the solo headliner of the second Millennium Tour. So that's one of the reasons why B2K was not on the second tour. Omarion planned it that way. So it is a little selfish, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I understand why Omarion doesn't want to be around his group members. I mean, there's a lot of drama and history there, and he's just trying to be drama free, and he's trying to make his money and go on about his business. So it is what it is. I think at this point, instead of B2K moaning and complaining about Omarion, they need to move forward and do business without him if they're able to do it. I'm not saying that they should replace Omarion, because they can't replace the lead singer, but if they need to find a temporary fill-in, then they should do that. They could do a whole reality competition show. They could do something with the Zeus Network or with Carlos King and find a temporary fill-in. All they need is somebody who can sing and dance. They could also find an existing singer, somebody like Myshawn. I don't know if y'all remember Myshawn, but Myshawn could be a good addition because he could sing and dance. Also, another good addition can be B. Smith. B. Smith is a great dancer, and he sounds like Chris Brown. So I think B2K might want to consider those two, or they could look at some guys from other groups that are inactive, like I-15, One Chance, Mindless Behavior, Brother, B5. They just need somebody who can sing and dance and do Omarion's parts. That's all they need. And they don't necessarily have to find somebody to do Omarion's parts, because I do know J-Boog and Raz B can sing a little bit. So if they want to go forward as a group and do some shows together, I think that's what they should do. And once again, I'm not saying that they should replace Omarion, because they can't replace Omarion, but they can find a fill-in, and they could also do a whole reality show to find that fill-in. It could give them a lot of publicity. It really can. However, the main question I have is, can the group sustain? Once again, B2K does have a lot of history. They have a lot of drama in the group, and also I don't like the fact that J-Boog still associates with Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston. I don't like that at all, and I don't like the fact that he doesn't take Raz B's trauma seriously. He was poking fun at him during the Millennium Tour, and that's a problem. I don't know if the group can successfully go forward with that type of drama. So I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.